All right, so I'm back, and today we're going to take a look at the Bad Cube Insecticons, the value pack, the standard editions. Hey, there's a spider. That was interesting. Yeah, see, look at this little spider right there. He's dead now. That's an interesting guest appearance right there, yeah? Alright. Anyway. Alright. Oh, stop. Sorry. Dog's wanting to play, and I'm trying to show this off. Alright, so here we have, it's the value pack. It's got this plain kind of brown box going on here, which, surprisingly, I'm actually really okay with, because of them being the value pack. It's kind of like, this is the cheap packaging. It just kind of works for this set. Now you got this artwork, which I do like this artwork, but I do wish, again, you got plain, and nothing on the back. I do wish there was some product shots on the back. You guys know that's my new kick. I want product shots of the figures. But being as I already owned this set before I got this, I knew what I was getting, so I'm okay with it. But anyway, I kind of wish there was that, but yeah, whatever. But anyway, outside of the wish of having the product shots, I like this box. I like this box better than these. I think these are. I mean, look at that. It's just like I like that sketch style art. That's probably one of that's probably my favorite style of art. Like when it comes to comic books, I got some like Spider-Man books that it's like, while the book was horrible, I love it because it has this artwork the whole way. It's just like that sketchy, not quite finalized, kind of rough around the edges. Anyway, moving on. So I debated on doing each one of these guys individually, but then I decided, we just did these. So we'll just get these out of the way all together at the same time. So accessory wise, they do all come with the Energon cubes. So now, while I should have 6, I actually have 5, because Tommy stole one, and I only have 4 with me right now. But yeah, so now we got more Energon cubes. And they do come with the other faces. I didn't think they were coming with the other faces. I was under the impression that these are exclusive accessories to the collector's edition. So that's one more thing that the collector's edition has that these guys have. Nothing special here. So there's that. So here they are in the standard colors. We'll just go from bug to bot mode on these guys. I just want to go over a couple things that people pointed out to me in the last few videos of these guys, or the last videos of them. Somebody asked me if these panels will come around and help connect to the base here, and that's what you get if you do that. So I wouldn't call it really helping. Now this doesn't plug into here as well as the collector's edition. It doesn't seem to really want to tab in well, and I don't want to put a whole lot of pressure on there. But yeah, because I don't want to break it. Thus far, that's really the only thing that the collectors had that's better than these guys when it comes to quality control type issues like that. So yeah, He's got the, this is where the purple chest here, and then he's got the gray chest underneath. So that's where this shines here, is that aspect, because that's what a lot of people wanted to see, or that's what a lot of people, the debate was, it's like purple chest or gray chest, whereas collectors, it's just purple. Fans Toys, you could buy the purple or you can buy the gray. This one had the purple for bug and then gray underneath. So that's pretty cool. I prefer a purple chest, but you know, whatever. It's cool that they're able to incorporate that kind of thing, and because it's changing the colors on this one, it makes more sense than the collector's one did. Now with him, first off, with the collector's one, I had the legs like this. And first off, you can see there's a big difference on the leg. While it's not super tight, it's not super floppy like the other one. But I also didn't have it fully transformed. You're supposed to take this and you pull all the way forward, and that locks it into place. So it's actually really sturdy until you untab it. It's not a tab, but it's more of a friction. So yeah, there's that. That's one mistake I made on the Kickback. But also, like I said, I mean, while this isn't super tight, it's also not super floppy and a little spring-loaded. So it does work better on this one than it did on the collectors. And then the front legs, they said I didn't have them tabbed in or put together right. I probably didn't. I had a concussion while I was recording that. But so I got it like that. I think that's the correct way to do it. By the way, last week I had a concussion, so I don't remember half the stuff I did. I hit my head really hard. I was out of it. I mean, I was out of it. But yeah, so you can mess with the bug legs, and he's just all around. He feels better. He just feels better. Even without the die cast, I think he's got a better weight, a better balance on his weight distribution than the die cast, or than the collector's one. It's weird. He feels better than that. I don't know. I can't explain that. Why I think that. And then him, I think nobody really corrected me on this. I will point out that the feet are toleranced infinitely better because they're plastic and not die cast. The head moves better. We'll get into that later. And somebody did comment that they hated the yellow legs. And seeing these gray legs, I have to agree. I do now dislike those yellow legs. While before I thought, oh, hey, those were kind of cool. Now seeing the gray legs, it's like, you know what? Gray legs are better. But yeah, everything tabs in better for the bug modes. Everything's holding in better in bug modes. All around quality control on these is better than the collectors, which is really sad. So let's get these guys into robot mode real quick. So we'll start with Bombshell. So take this out since it doesn't want to stay in anyway. Untab these sections here and rotate these down just like so. Take the arms, rotate out, fold up the legs. Everything tabs in nicely just like before. Fold the hands out, and then you want to rotate this leg around, fold the arm out, and then kind of accordion in, and then this will fold down. Nothing's really here to tab this in. Again, maybe they could have made a tighter joint. Maybe they're afraid of putting too much pressure on that. But either way, they could have done something a little bit better. But it's forgivable on a $60 toy, in my opinion. That it's not perfect. Rotate it around. Just like so. Take the legs, and we want to flip this piece here around. Take this assembly here. This will come around. Fold this in. and this will come in and you tuck it underneath the knee, just like so. Flip this out, this will rotate around and collapse down, forming the foot. Then you take this piece here, untab that, rotates around, and just tabs it, just like that. Again, we've seen this transformation, so that's why I'm not focusing too much on this, because we just did this. All right. Then we want to open up the chest cavity. So these are the solid yellow chests as opposed to the clear plastic chests. I love these a lot better, by the way. I just do. Rotate this piece here around. Rotate all the way around, like so. This piece comes forward. Like so. Right. This will come up, tab in like so. And then back here, what you want to do is take the leg here, and this will fold all the way around. Turn around, and then this little tab here will plug in that slot there. Tab it in. Tab it in, close those sides up. This will fold forward. This will come around and tab in underneath the neck. It's kind of hard to show, but plug that all in. This still on this one doesn't lock as securely as I'd like, but it does lock well enough that I don't feel like it's just going to flop out while it's just sitting there. If I were to play with it, I would imagine it's going to pop out, but I'm not too afraid of it here. Open up the hand, flip the handle down, this will tab in, close up the hand, and there you go. There's Bombshell done. Again, transformation is not complex to the point of, oh my god. It's just enough to, it's like, you know what, that was satisfying, that was fun to do. Alright, we'll do shrapnel next. So on tab, or you want to slide these pieces down a little bit so you can pull the arms out. And once we get these in robot mode, I'll showcase each one and the differences between the collector's counterparts. That's tabbed in there. All right. Wow, that was a tight fit. Untab the gun. Take these legs here and they untab up at the top, and then they flip out like so. Rotate down while unfolding, just like so. You want to take this panel here out like this. Rotate around, and then this will slide up, give you a little bit more clearance there. Cording this in on itself, and then these tabs here and here will plug into those two holes there and there. Foot folds up, heel folds back, and you're done. Same thing on this side. Slide this up. Pull this out, cording this in, like so. There we go. Fold this out, fold this forward, and there you have the legs. Rotate the waist around. You can then push the waist up, and that will automorph this top section here. You can then rotate these panels out. They're not super tight like they are, probably because these aren't die cast and these aren't chrome. Head rotates fairly easily. A lot better than the collector's one, and that's because I think this section here is die cast. That still opens. Flip these pieces here down. Rotate like that. And then we take the hands here, unfold those, rotate around, collapse this up. And then you can take this, and this will fold back and forward. Out. Again, this is where I really wish they would have put a tab in there, because this does not lock in at all. It just doesn't lock in. Again, that's something that on an $80 toy I found on $60 toy, while it's not ideal, it's a little bit more forgivable. Yeah, there you go. Open up the hands. And then plug the gun in. And they all say retain the same articulation. So if you guys want to see the back and forth transformation, check out the previous Insecticon Bad Cube reviews. And there is here's Kickback. So we want to pull this gun off. This is still not my ideal transformation here. Man, I think that's going to break. This will fold up. The tolerances on this one's super tight, so be kind of cautious with that. But other than that, it's the same thing. There we go. And slide these legs down. Pull this piece here out. Fold the toe in. And that will come in under there. Tab that in. Fold the foot down. Rotate. Down. Rotate. Flip this out. This will come up. Tomorrow we're going to look at the Generations Mixmaster. If I didn't post the video on it already. I haven't recorded it yet, but I just wanted to record this one first, just because I wanted to get these guys done and put on the shelf. These will fold up. Like so. Like so. Like so. Untab these sections here. Now these are on sliders that are actually tight. They're not just wanting to go wherever they want to go, wherever gravity will take them. They actually are on toleranced joints that work. You know, who would have thought that would have been a good idea? Rotate the wings. It's easy to show off here, that slot that you're supposed to line up. So just like that. Rotate the head around. And then you want to pull the backpack out. How do I do this? There we go. Just out like so. This comes up, and then you want to also push this forward. Again, because this isn't die cast, things seem to move a little bit smoother here. So fold this up. This will come back down. Close that back up. I wish I was just on hinge, but it works better here. You're not sitting there like, oh my god, this is gonna break, this is gonna break, this is gonna break. Fold this down here like that. Just like so. And then with the backpack, you untab the arms, rotate this around, and again, as you can see, things are they move into a position and they hold that position. Unlike the collector's one, where, as I said, it was just a big floppy mess, and that's why I was getting really frustrated with it, was because it just wasn't working with me. So you rotate this around like so, and then these will flip up. And then kind of somewhat tab into place up here. Do the same thing up here. Just like so. And again, things are toleranced well. They are staying where I put them. The engineering on this figure is really, really well done if it's got the good tolerances. When it's flopping around, it's not a good engineering design. I was saying in the video how it's like, it's floppy, but once you get it locked in, it's good. But honestly, if it's toleranced well to begin with, then transforming it becomes a joy as opposed to a nightmare. So this is actually better to transform than the collector's edition. Just kind of tab that in. Slide everything forward. Take the wings and fold them back. And rotate the arms around. Open up the hands. And then tab in the gun. Alright. And there we go. There is the value pack Insecticons. A few QC issues, but nothing major, nothing floppy, nothing like too scary. I would say the scariest thing on this set is his gun. I haven't tried taking the faces off. Let's see if that's toleranced a little bit better. I don't really want to, because I don't want to break them. Oh, that popped right off. So we can take the smirky face and we can pop that right in. So you can take that and you just plug that right in. I'm going to stick with the standard faces here. And the dog found a screwdriver, so I got to go grab that from him real quick here. There we go. Sorry about that. Alright, so yeah, so his works a lot better. Let's see if Kickback's does. I'll flip this up, and this is supposed to slide straight down. Nope, it's not coming out any easier. And I don't want to scrape up the visor like I did on the collector's version. But it looks like the faces are pretty much identical, so that's nice. I don't know. I have spares now. Alright, so moving him out of the way. We're at 23 minutes. We'll do a quick comparison with these. Like I said, he's got more weight because he's got more die cast, but he feels better balanced. He feels a little top heavy. He's not top heavy. I'm not sitting here saying that he's worse than him because he's top heavy because that die cast. He seems better balanced than this one. So we've got identical black plastic. Heads are identical. Only difference is the face smirk because of the fact that I changed that out. I'd say the yellow on here is just a little, like a shade darker. Everything else looks just about the same. He's got the die cast feet here. He's got the plastic feet. You can see the paint is pretty much spot on. So the major difference here is the chrome on the wings. and it's certain lights you can't even tell. So these are silver, these are chrome. They're in person you can definitely tell, but in certain lights with the camera, it's like kind of hard to say. And the obviously the yellow chest as opposed to the clear chest. I like the yellow chest a little bit better, although I wish that had like a coat of like this kind of yellow on top of it, just to kind of darken it up and make it look less. Yeah, these are the cartoon editions, so I hate to say cartoony, but that's kind of the word I'm looking for here. I know these are supposed to be based more on the toys, and these are more of the cartoons, but I think this could be darker. Maybe just one coat of paint, of yellow paint on top of that yellow plastic would have made this thing pop a little bit better. But that'd be my only gripe. But I do like this better than the clear yellow, I think. I don't know. They both look pretty good, honestly. Shrapnel here. There's his collector counterpoint. So he's got the chrome stuff, or antenna, and the chrome little plates here and here. Outside of that, everything else is identical, I believe. He's got the yellow legs, he's got gray legs. So for whatever reason, they decided to change that one up. See this one, you can see that arm is floppy, and this one, the arm is this is actually worse on here. The tolerances on this one are worse than on this one. I have to sit down and do some repairs. And he's got a silver gun, and he's got a purple gun. So, and of course the yellow chest and clear yellow here. Diecast on him seems mostly balanced into the bottom, so he's pretty well balanced. He's perfectly balanced too, so this one, it's a take it or leave it kind of situation. It's the diecast balances him on the bottom more than him, but he's also still very well balanced too, so there's no issues here. Yeah. Outside of that, I'd say, the designs are, obviously going to be the same. I just think this is a little looser on this set than it is on this one. This is actually really annoying. This is pretty bad. I mean, this is just flopping. And there is no tab. It's and this one is almost as bad. So yeah, there you go. There's the differences there. I'd say again, it's the same. It's up to personal preference. And then here is the Bombshell with the gray chest, and Bombshell with purple chest. So that's the major differences here. He's got some die cast in him, mostly the chest and the feet. But again, this one almost feels a little back heavy, whereas this one feels pretty well balanced. It's not enough to make it be irritating, like I said before. He's got a chrome gun here, silver gun here, chrome headpiece here, and silver headpiece here. I actually would lean towards, I prefer this because of the way this figure is. I kind of prefer the plain silver there. And he's got like this little bit of detailing inside this gray chest here. It's like this little bit of gloss paint, just kind of highlighting that indent. It's weird. There's no purpose to it. So it's actually kind of cool. Just that little hint of detail. Go outside? Do you need to go outside? Is that what your problem is? Sorry. problem with not being able to pause the video or edit. I'm too far in to stop now. So, all right. So, final thoughts. Oh, and then he's got the solid yellow chest. He's got the clear yellow chest. The reason why I don't like this chrome on him, because everything else seems so plain in comparison, whereas, like, here's the Fans Toys one, whereas this got that glossy metallic purple, and this is plain silver too, so it's not even chromed. And it just fits better with this character here with all this. Like, if this was chromed, I think it would fit really well with this metallic purple, the metallic yellows, and just all around just gorgeousness of this awesome Fans Toys figure. I know it's not fair to compare the two companies, but they're both making Insecticons, so I kind of have to. All right, so let's get the whole thing out. And now that I have them, I can actually say a real opinion, not just like, I think. I can actually sit here and say, I've had my hands on both sets now, and I can easily say which one I like better. And I like the value pack better than the collectors. Hands down. Not even a question in my mind. I like the value pack better. Part of that is the aesthetics of the yellow chest. Part of that is because Bad Cube has really grown as a company. Don't get me wrong. These things are so much better than their Huffer figure, and then their what was it? The Brawn and Outback. These things are really well engineered, and they're fun to play with. This Kickback isn't, because everything's a floppy mess when you untab it. The Shrapnel, the head doesn't rotate because of the tolerances, and that arm will not stay together. Bombshell, he's pretty cool, but still, I mean, he's pretty cool. He's just not perfect. Whereas these guys, just tolerance and quality control is better here than it is on there. This is one of those sets where it's like, this is a good set. And at about $180 price range for the three, that puts them in around $60 a piece. And one thing you also have to remember with this set is the fact that at about $180, most of those online retailers will give you this free shipping on these. These guys are $80 a piece, putting that set at what, $240? And while somewhere I heard in one of their advertisings that they have more accessories and stuff like that, they have nothing special about them accessory wise. The only thing difference is the chrome and the die cast and the clear chest. So only those three things. If you're going to spend $80 on an Insecticon, there's no question in my mind that this is the way to go. Okay? Now, what makes these guys still in a contention with him is the fact that these guys, one, are complete. They're already done, and he's $20 cheaper. Being a $20 cheaper toy than him makes it actually, for me, a reasonable excuse to get these guys over him. In my opinion. And for all those people that are like, well, it still can be worth, $80. No, you buy this guy or go to a friend's house that has it, and you pick him up and you hold him, and then you tell me that. Because as soon as you pick this thing up, you're going to realize what I'm talking about. You're going to be like, oh. I mean, it's not even a question. I mean, this guy's worth $80. This guy's worth $60. And at $60 a piece, these things are great. At $80 a piece, this thing's great. At $80 a piece on these guys, they are not great. I can't sit here. I can't recommend this set over this set, and it's the same set, just different takes. And I think the biggest issue is that Bad Cube, like I was starting to say, while they have grown as a company, they have not perfected die-cast. They haven't perfected the different tolerances that need to go into making the die-cast work. And it shows on this set. So I don't like it. I don't like that aspect of it. Hey, he's got little gloss paint in these little sides right here. I just noticed that too. Right there. Little gloss paint in those indents. See if he's got them. He doesn't. He's got better paint apps than the collector's one when it comes to the little details. So they haven't perfected the die-cast on these guys, and that shows with, like, especially Shrapnel and his designs, and Kickback with feeling a little bit back heavy. He's not, but it feels like he could be. And the chrome, some of the chrome bits aren't toleranced very well either. I'm looking at these pieces here in particular. Whereas, like, his moves smoothly, no issues whatsoever. His feet fold out fine. They hold their position fine. The die cast isn't too tight on that plastic joint where you're thinking either this is going to break or it's just going to flop around. I'm debating on whether or not to get rid of this set now, and just use this set for the big comparison video, because this set, in my mind, is kind of a failure in comparison to what the same company has already done. Because this came out first, and then these guys, and then there's a clear set, and I ain't touching that thing with a 10-foot pole. Nope. Third-party figures that are completely clear plastic, not my thing. Anyway, at $180, I recommend this set. As a set, I'm going to give it a, at that price point, I'm going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I from my opinion now, I know the MMC bugs are going to be in the same price point as these guys, but I can't rate these guys against the MMCs just yet. But as of now, there's a few tolerance issues that I can fix easy, and outside of that, I love this set. I think it's a great set. I highly recommend this set. I can't recommend this set enough. This set, I say, leave it on the table. If you want the high-end bugs, you get this set. You get this guy right here. You get the Fans Toys ones. This is where it's at. This is where your money needs to be spent if you're looking at the high-end Insecticons. Don't think about the Bad Cubes as high-end ones, because this guy leading these guys as drones looks awesome. I really like this look. Imagine him being flanked by a couple of these guys as his little drones. The clones, because they don't look quite as sharp as he does. It fits in really well. I think this is going to be awesome. But for the collectors, I say it's a pass. The value pack, I say pick that up. You might want to pick up two, because we troop build these guys. Is the thing. And I think he just works. This set works better. Outside of that, not really else to show you. If anybody has I've just made up my mind. If anybody has a value pack and they want the collector bugs at the value pack price, I will trade straight up collectors for a value pack. Because these guys are not going to make it to the war. These guys are not what I would want in the war. I want these guys in the war, in the big Insecticon war that's going to come at the end of the year. So if you guys got a value pack or the actual Fans Project Insecticons, the black and purple ones, if you guys got those, I will trade those. So anybody that's interested in that trade, let me know. Other than that, I guess that's it.